By the end of this video, you will have a psychological weapon in your hands. And if you use it correctly, no girl will merely like you. You will actually become her habit. Yes, a habit is something that simply does not go away, even if you do not want it to. Today, we will not talk about using flirty lines or trying to impress someone. Today, we will understand the real psychology happening inside a girl's mind. Because until you truly understand how she thinks, no matter how hard you try to be a good guy, you will only become what the world calls a nice guy. And history is absolute proof of it. Nice guys. They get attention, but they do not get real desire. People often say that if you make a girl feel good, she will like you. That sounds completely accurate, but if that were the whole truth, then why do the guys who compliment her constantly, who never hurt her, and who are always available, still end up staying single? Because they do make her happy, but they do not make her feel truly alive. And that is the mistake that so many men make. Now, what I am about to tell you might sound a little strange, but it is the truth that most men never truly understand. The best way to connect a girl to you is... What's the way to do it? Not just making her feel a single emotion, but taking her through a full emotional journey. Happiness, a little pain, excitement, uncertainty, relief, tension, and then happiness again. The full spectrum of emotions. Pleasure alone doesn't keep a person satisfied for long. What a person needs is intensity. Here's a question. Can you eat the same food every day? At first it will feel good. The second day it will feel fine. The third day it will become a habit. The fourth day it will feel boring. And by the fifth day you'll look for something new. The same thing happens in relationships. If you only make a girl feel good every day, then You'll end up becoming that, like a daily meal. Necessary, but not exciting. That's why so many women prefer watching drama-filled stories. Why? Because the emotions there aren't stable. There are ups and downs, conflict, uncertainty, and the human mind connects not with predictable things, but with emotional variation. Now think, why is it that sometimes girls feel attracted to guys who have a bit of a bad boy attitude, even though they know those guys aren't right for the long term? Still, the attraction is there. Why? Because those guys don't keep them comfortable all the time. They keep them guessing. Sometimes it's attention, sometimes it's distance, sometimes it's intensity, meaning they aren't emotionally static. Here's another example you may have seen. Often, a wife knows her husband keeps making the same mistakes, yet she still lets him come back. That doesn't happen because of logic. It happens because of an emotional loop where pain and relief keep forming a cycle over and over, and the mind becomes accustomed to that cycle. Until a woman feels different emotions while being with you, she may remember you, but she still won't truly feel you, because people don't connect through memories, they connect through emotions. So the real game isn't how to keep her happy, the real game is how to help her feel emotionally alive with you. Now the question is, how do you do all of this in a practical way? How do you create this emotional dynamic without being fake, and without coming across as manipulative? We'll break that down in the next part, because attraction is never built through words, it's built through experience. Even if she tries not to, she'll still feel drawn to you. And that's exactly where most guys lose. Why the friend zone? Because she feels good with you as a friend. Because a friend makes you feel good, but a lover makes room for emotions. A friend feels safe, a lover feels dangerous, because your heart beats faster with them. But the difference between a friend and a lover isn't about time, and it isn't about looks. It isn't even a test of money. The test is of emotion. A lover shakes up your emotions, and a friend puts your emotions to sleep. Now the question is, how does that emotional spark get created? And yes, if you're understanding what I'm saying, please don't forget to support this video, because these aren't surface level things. Attraction is created when you don't stay predictable. Until she can't fully figure you out, as long as she doesn't truly know what your next move will be, as long as she remains curious and wants to learn more about you. Only one thought keeps running through her mind: this man is different. And that curiosity gradually turns into a deeper emotional attachment. Perfect attraction is comfort combined with mystery. If you always agree, you'll seem safe. If you never challenge her, you'll seem boring. Sometimes a small disagreement, sometimes light playful teasing, sometimes giving her a bit of space. None of this is drama, it is emotional variation. The human mind connects through variation, not through consistency. The fastest way to someone's heart is to make them laugh, and sometimes to make them feel something emotional too. Life is not flat, and attraction is not flat either. Most guys think that if she gets upset, she will leave. But the truth is the opposite. If everything is smooth all the time, the connection does not become deep. Real bonding happens when two people experience different emotions together and then come back to normal. That is how trust is built. That is how attachment is formed. A little mystery is necessary, telling everything right away. Replying to every message right away and being available all the time is not care. It is overexposure. And when someone is completely available, their emotional value goes down. That does not mean you should ignore her. It means you should genuinely keep your life busy. Sometimes being unavailable is not a game. It is self-respect. What is the biggest mistake? Fear. Fear that she will get upset. Fear that she will forget you. Fear that she will lose interest. Remember, attraction is built through presence, not fear. If you are always afraid, your behavior will become needy and nay. The biggest attraction killer is this. Please remember this rule, a life rule. If you are afraid that someone will leave you, you will end up pushing them away with your own behavior. If you are constantly looking for validation, the other person will subconsciously pull back. Confidence is not loud. Confidence is shown through actions. You may have noticed this. Girls often sit with their friends and talk about a guy who is a little mysterious. Why did he say that? Why does he do that? Is he interested or not, and why? Why does the mind chase things that aren't completely clear? It's human nature to solve puzzles, and when you become an emotional puzzle yourself, the interest stays. But please listen, this isn't manipulation. It isn't about hurting anyone. It also isn't about putting on fake behavior. It's about understanding that attraction doesn't come from logic. When you live an interesting life, when you're not always trying to prove yourself, and when you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting, emotional depth develops naturally. If you take one thing from this video, don't try to impress anyone. Create connection. Don't try to be perfect. Be real. Don't be predictable. Be present. Attraction starts with comfort, but it lasts because of mystery. If you have any question or a situation you can't quite understand, please write it in the comments. Maybe the next story will be yours. You stay nice all the time, give attention all the time, smile at everything. Honestly, most people do exactly that, and then they wonder, why does she only see me as a friend? Because a person doesn't just want softness, they want contrast. A girl doesn't want niceness, she wants an experience. She wants that when she comes into your life, her world changes a little, becomes a little unpredictable, a little exciting, a little story. It happens. Yes, she likes thrill, she likes emotional movement, but that does not mean fake behavior. It means you should not be the same all the time. Attraction is not built through consistency. It is built through emotional dynamics. Sometimes you are light and playful. Sometimes you are so focused on your work that you forget the world. Sometimes you give full attention. Sometimes you are genuinely busy. Sometimes you speak directly. Sometimes you twist it a bit with teasing. In other words, you should seem like a person, not a pattern. Because patterns are predictable, and predictable things get boring quickly. When she understands you completely, the curiosity ends. But when she feels that this guy is genuinely interesting, why he's a little bit different each time, then she starts investing emotionally. Here's a small example, a typical kind of reaction. Boy, what do you do? Girl, I'm a nurse. Boy, wow, that's such an amazing job. It really suits you. Nurses are truly great. Hearing that, what does she feel? Just another guy trying to impress her. Now, two different energies. Boy, what do you do? Girl, I'm a nurse. Boy, with a slight smile. Honestly, I thought you seemed more like a teacher. You don't really have that strict nurse vibe. So what happened? An emotion got created, some surprise, some curiosity, some engagement. That is the difference. Approval versus interaction. Complimenting everything does not create attraction. If she says, I'm from here, do not immediately say, wow, that place is amazing. You are not interviewing her. You are building a connection. Be natural. Do not just react, engage. Remember to show interest. Do not hand out approval. When approval comes too easily, its value drops. But when the interaction is playful, it has energy. And that energy is what creates connection. The secret to attraction is not making her feel good all the time. Rather, it's that they should feel something real with you. Sometimes think, sometimes feel a bit confused, sometimes feel impressed. In other words, they should be emotionally present. But the most important thing here is that this is not a game of controlling someone. This is not a way to hurt someone. It's simply that you should not lose yourself trying to make someone happy. When you stay in your own frame, live your life, and keep your individuality, only then does someone genuinely feel attracted to you. People don't connect by being impressed. People connect by feeling. And when your presence becomes someone's soul, if you make life a little more interesting, they won't forget you so easily. If you have any questions or a situation you don't completely understand, please write it down below. We'll talk it through. Keep learning, keep growing, stay confident, and most importantly, be yourself, because that's where real attraction truly starts.